Dream to You Episode 4 is easily the most important episode of the series so far because it changes the emotional direction of the story without abandoning the slow burn romance that has made this drama so enjoyable. Instead of relying on shocking twists or unnecessary drama, the episode focuses on healing, trust, creativity, and the emotional scars that both Yi Jae and Soobin have been carrying for years. By the time the ending arrives, viewers finally understand that this story has never been about whether these two characters love each other. It has always been about whether they could overcome the fears that kept them apart. One of the biggest developments in this episode is Yi Jae agreeing to work with Soobin on his film. At first, this decision seems to happen because of a drunken promise, but the series makes it clear that the choice means much more than that. Accepting the project is not simply about writing another screenplay. It is Yi Jae taking the first step toward reclaiming the dream she abandoned after experiencing disappointment and failure in the past. Soobin deserves a great deal of credit because he never pressures Yi Jae into making this decision. He believes in her long before she starts believing in herself again. Instead of constantly asking whether she has written another page or reminding her about deadlines, he quietly supports her. He gives her space whenever she needs it and encourages her without making her feel trapped. This says everything about the kind of relationship they once shared. The drama beautifully shows that love is not always expressed through dramatic confessions or expensive gifts. Sometimes it is simply believing in someone when they have stopped believing in themselves. Soobin understands that Yi Jae is not fighting against a lack of talent. She is fighting against fear, disappointment, and painful memories. Throughout the episode, Yi Jae struggles with writer's block, and this becomes the emotional heart of the story. Every time she tries to write, her own doubts become stronger than her creativity. She remembers how her dreams collapsed before, and now every blank page reminds her of that painful chapter in her life. One of the strongest moments comes when Yi Jae admits that she is afraid of disappointing Soobin. This confession reveals something very important about her character. Soobin is not the one placing expectations on her. Those expectations exist entirely inside her own mind. She has built so much pressure around herself that even returning to writing feels terrifying. This makes Yi Jae an incredibly relatable character. Many people have experienced failure at some point in life, and returning to the same dream often feels more frightening than giving up completely. The episode understands this emotional reality and presents it with remarkable honesty. Meanwhile, Soobin continues showing incredible patience. Rather than trying to solve every problem for Yi Jae, he simply stays beside her. Sometimes the greatest support comes from allowing someone to find their own strength instead of forcing them toward success. The romance also continues developing in a wonderfully natural way. Dream to You refuses to rush its love story, and that decision pays off throughout episode 4. Instead of relying on dramatic misunderstandings or forced romantic situations, the series builds intimacy through everyday moments. Watching movies together, discussing creative ideas, sharing the same room while working, and even quietly falling asleep near each other all become meaningful experiences. These scenes may appear simple on the surface, but they reveal how comfortable these two characters feel whenever they are together. At the same time, Yi Jae becomes increasingly flustered whenever Soobin gets close to her. She tries to hide her emotions, but every smile, every conversation, and every shared moment reminds her that the feelings she thought she buried years ago are still alive. These scenes also suggest that both characters have been carrying emotional wounds since whatever happened in their past relationship. The drama has not fully revealed everything yet, but it becomes increasingly obvious that they never stopped caring about each other. Instead, circumstances and personal struggles forced them apart before they were emotionally ready. The supporting cast also continues adding depth to the overall story. Yi Jae once again proves to be much more than a supporting character. His own struggles remind viewers that everyone is fighting battles that are not immediately visible. His storyline explores the harsh realities of pursuing dreams while facing life's disappointments, creating an emotional parallel to Yi Jae's journey. Hana continues being the loyal and dependable friend everyone wishes they had. Her chemistry with Yi Jae feels increasingly natural, and the drama quietly hints that their friendship could eventually develop into something much deeper. Unlike many romantic subplots that suddenly appear without proper development, this relationship is growing gradually and feels believable. Then there is Chai Sa-rang, who provides much-needed comic relief throughout the episode. Her bold personality brings fresh energy whenever she appears on screen. Secretly leaving her phone number for In-guk before confidently asking him out later creates several funny moments that balance the emotional intensity of the main storyline. It is refreshing to see a female character confidently expressing her feelings instead of waiting for someone else to make the first move. Visually, Episode 4 may be the strongest episode of the series so far. The cinematography is absolutely beautiful, especially during the seaside sequence. The wide landscapes create a feeling of emotional freedom that perfectly matches Yi Jae's internal journey. Throughout most of the episode, she feels trapped by fear and regret. Standing beside the endless ocean symbolizes the possibility of finally moving forward. The warm lighting and soft color palette further enhance this emotional transformation. Every frame feels carefully designed to reflect not only the beauty of the location, but also the emotional state of the characters. Even the quieter indoor scenes are filmed with remarkable care. Instead of distracting viewers with unnecessary camera movements or random visual effects, the direction keeps its attention on the actors' expressions. Small changes in facial expressions often communicate more than dialogue itself, allowing Hwang In-yeop and Hyori to deliver deeply emotional performances. Now, let us talk about the ending because this is where everything changes. After spending the entire episode trying to suppress her emotions, Yi Jae finally reaches a point where she can no longer pretend that her feelings have disappeared. The emotional weight she has been carrying for years becomes impossible to ignore. During the seaside scene, Yi Jae finally follows her heart and kisses Soo-bin. This moment is significant because it is not driven by impulse or physical attraction alone. The kiss represents years of hidden emotions finally breaking free. It is Yi Jae admitting to herself that despite everything that happened, despite all the pain, disappointment, and fear, she still loves Soo-bin. More importantly, she kisses him to ease the pain she has carried inside her heart for years. She realizes that continuing to hide those emotions will only hurt her even more. Soo-bin's reaction makes the moment even more meaningful. Instead of pulling away or showing surprise, he kisses her back. That single response answers every question viewers have been asking throughout the series. It confirms that Soo-bin never stopped loving Yi Jae either. Both characters have been protecting themselves from getting hurt again, but neither of them truly moved on. The ending is not simply about romance. It represents healing. Yi Jae finally begins overcoming the fear that has controlled both her personal life and her creative ambitions. By opening her heart to Soo-bin, she also begins opening herself to the possibility of becoming a writer again. Likewise, Soo-bin finally sees that his patience has not been meaningless. Rather than forcing Yi Jae toward recovery, he allowed her to reach this moment on her own terms, making their reunion feel genuine instead of forced. Looking ahead, Episode 4 clearly establishes the direction of the series. Although the kiss marks a major breakthrough, it does not magically solve every problem. Yi Jae still needs to overcome her writer's block completely, rebuild her confidence, and confront the painful experiences that made her abandon her dream in the first place. The couple will also need to address whatever separated them years earlier. Their feelings are now out in the open, but emotional scars rarely disappear overnight. That gives the drama plenty of meaningful material to explore in the coming episodes. Episode 4 proves that Dream to You understands exactly what makes a slow burn romance satisfying. Every emotional moment is earned through careful storytelling rather than manufactured drama. The ending kiss works because the series spent several episodes building trust, vulnerability, and emotional intimacy before finally allowing the characters to express what viewers already knew was hidden inside their hearts. If the remaining episodes continue balancing romance, personal growth, and creative ambition with the same level of emotional maturity, Dream to You has all the ingredients to become one of the most heartfelt Korean dramas of the year.